Hey, what's up? John Sonmez here. I'm in Austin, Texas today. Took a trip out here actually to meet with a buddy of mine who does some real estate investment, and just to kind of pick his mind, kind of learn how he's doing his real estate investment. And you know, one of the best ways to like learn something is to learn from a mentor, is to basically, you know, follow someone around, kind of like see what they do. And you know, you can gain, you know, Tony Robbins calls this technique modeling. And modeling is like one of the best ways by far to learn something quickly. What he's been doing, and one of the secrets to his success is, you know, obviously he knows the market really well, right? That's a given, right? For doing real estate investment, you have to know the market. But in addition to that, one of the things that he does, I think better than anyone else I know, is he just asks. He just asks for deals. Like, he just assumes that, like, he takes the opportunity or the chance. And I was just thinking about this, how many of us, like, in myself included, right? We assume that something is not going to be possible, so we don't even ask. But a lot of times when you ask, you'll be amazed at what kind of response that you'll get, right? So, you know, one of the things that he does is that he just goes and he just asks people. He's like, hey, do you want to sell your property? And then he asks them what they want for it. And then, you know, sometimes they offer him a really good deal and he jumps on it, right? So it's kind of interesting though. I mean, when you think about that, obviously that works in real estate, but it works in so much of life, right? A lot of the, you know, the dating type of videos that I do, well, you know, I always tell you to like just go out and talk to girls. You know, it's funny because you assume that it's not going to work out, right? You kind of assume that, oh no, this is not going to happen. But it's amazing what happens when you ask, right? When you actually just take the chances, right? And it's a numbers game, right? But life is a numbers game, right? The more people, the more opportunities that you take, the more chances that you're going to have of finding one that's actually going to happen. You know, some of the stories I've heard from some of my friends, some of the things that have happened to me, you know, some of the things as far as investments in real estate, that, you know, some of my best deals, right? And the best deals that my buddy here has been able to do, there are deals that you would not expect would be possible, right? I mean, that you would not think that you'd be able to get this kind of price, right? I remember one of my first, you know, one of my early real estate deals, you know, there was this property that was listed for, it was a fourplex for like $260,000, $265,000 actually. And I put in a offer for $235,000, right? And it was already a pretty good deal at 260, maybe 265. So, you know, it seemed like there's low probability, like there's no way essentially that the person was going to take my offer, and they did. And you know, the real estate agent that had put in the offer said, no, this is crazy, this is way too low. But I asked, right? And I got a response, right? I got a positive. Now, it doesn't mean that you're always like going to ask and you're always going to get what you want. But what it means is that, like, you should give it a shot, right? Why not try? Why not ask, right? Just try. Just give it a shot, right? See what happens. Like, sometimes you'll be surprised, you know, how many times, you know, guys that I've coached, they've been like, oh man, yeah, I went up to this girl and she was just like, and I was nervous, and I said, hey, or whatever, you know, it doesn't matter really what you said to open, but she was like, her face lit up and she was like excited to talk to me. And it wasn't the response I expected, right? Been a lot of times in life where I've asked for the moon, right? I always talk about this idea of asking for the moon. And sometimes you get the moon when you ask for the moon, you know, with negotiating salaries, right? You guys have talked about this a lot. I've talked about this in my book, but you ask for something kind of ridiculous, and sometimes you get it, right? Or sometimes you get something really close to that. So you just got to go out there and ask. And so I know that was just like a big lesson for me, right? Just to realize that there's so many times that I'm doubting it. I'm doubting it in my mind. I'm like, this is not possible. There's no way I'm going to be able to get this deal. There's no way this person's going to do this thing. And then I ask, and then, you know, sometimes they do, right? And so, you know, so you should remember that, right? And you should just take the chance, right? Because the worst that someone can say is no, right? Maybe it's a small amount of embarrassment if you ask for something and you get told no or you're rejected, but it's amazing when it works out, right? And there's so many things. You know, I could give you, I won't give you examples for my students, you know, for my coaching students, but there's definitely ones where, you know, I don't really, like, where it would amaze the fuck out of you at what they asked and what happened. And if you're living your life this way, right, always asking for the moon, you're going to get the moon a lot, and your life is going to be drastically different. So it's one of those things, you know, again, like I said, I live my life by this philosophy. I ask for a lot of shit, and amazingly, I get it a lot of times. But when I saw my buddy here doing this, and I heard his stories, I was amazed. Like, I was like, wow, I need to take this to the next level. I need to really start asking more and just, you know, taking those chances, because that's where the opportunity lies. You and I, we don't know what's possible, right? We only have an idea. We have our own preconceived notion of the world, and we have our own biases and our own filters, which we view the world through. And so we don't know what the full reality is. So we assume that things that are possible are impossible. But what you have to do is you have to just say, you know what, I don't think this is possible, but I'm going to give it a shot anyway. And when you do that, you'll be amazed, right? It'll expand your reality. And then, you know, once an impossible thing happens in your life, it changes your life. It becomes now the new reality. Now you do believe that, you know, just start asking for big things, taking chances, right? And, you know, like I said, the worst that people can say is no, right? But it's amazing. And here's a good exercise for you, right? If you want to really try this out, is next time you're at a restaurant or something, you know, ask for some free shit. Like, hey, could I get a free order of breadsticks? Hey, could I get a free, you know, could you give me a drink or a pie or whatever you want, right? And you'll be amazed at how often that you actually get a yes. I mean, you're going to get a no a good amount of times, but you'll get yes, right? And so, you know, just if you see something and you want it, ask for it. Maybe take it, but, you know, maybe just ask for it and see what happens, right? Especially you guys, right? As a man, one of the best attributes that you can have is to be someone who just sees something they want and they go for it, right? You don't hold back. You don't, you know, fear that you're going to get rejected. You don't fear that if someone's going to say no. You just ask for what you want, right? And so, you know, so many times we're trying to like Morse code people to tell them what we want instead of directly saying, this is what I want. And sometimes when you do that, like I said, you get the positive response. So, all right, that's enough for this video. Hopefully you'll find an application to apply this in your life. And like I said, try the exercise. Try going into a restaurant. Try going somewhere, you know, next time and just asking. In fact, just try asking people for ridiculous shit and see what happens. You're not always going to get it. And a lot of times you're not going to get it. But you know, it only takes one or two of those times when you do get it for you to it'll blow your mind, right? It'll change your reality. And once your reality is changed, then you're operating at a higher level of reality. And when you're operating there, you know, a lot of magic can happen. All right, that's all I got for you today. Click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Talk to you later.